Oh, hi there. How's it going, everybody? I'm just joking. I knew you were coming. I left the door open for you. Thanks so much for being here. It's great to see all of your wonderful, smiling names and faces once again. It is the first Tuesday of the month, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, it's not only the first Tuesday of the month, it is the first day of the month. Happy October 1st. This is the official introduction to spooky season. So, don't get too scary. You got a long road ahead of you. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time. Want you to ration out your horror movies, your scary Halloween flicks, what have you. But no better way to start the day than with a retailer live stream. That's right. And if you're wondering what the higgity heck is a retailer live stream, this is something that we started way back in the pandemic. If you remember that thing from a couple years ago, I can't remember now myself, but this was just a way for us to connect with our local comic book stores, those brick and mortar storefronts, those physical locations. And I say this every month. You might be sick of hearing me say it, but it bears repeating. Comic books, those brick and mortar, those local shops are the lifeblood of our industry. We as a company would not be where we are. We would not be where we are as a medium without the continued love and support of those shops. So this was a way to connect with those from around the country, around the globe. And, as a friendly reminder, we will have a sales segment later on during the stream, and 50% of the proceeds from that segment will be going directly to benefit the store that we are featuring today. Now, if you've been watching for the last couple months, you'll know that back in July, we were up in Montana, where we visited Hell Creek Music and More, Kiss capital of the state, if I remember correctly. You can check that out online. We then worked our way over to the West Coast, where we visited Crestline Comics in California. And then just last month, we moved on down south to Mississippi, Mississippi, where we visited Azure Comics and Games. And now I am excited to say that we are going back down south to Austin, Texas, where we will be interviewing Eric from Tribe Comic and Games. And Eric, if you're ready, I'm going to bring you on. All right. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing fantastic now that we're talking with you.
I'm afraid I don't have anything as interesting as the Kiss capital of the world, but
Oh, I don't know if it was the world. I was probably throwing some hyperboles around. That's just like, it was a very unique store, but here's the thing. Every store is unique. Every store has got something, that makes it special, make it,
it's
unique.
a wild industry.
Absolutely. So actually, that would be a great jumping on point. How long have you guys been, established?
We've been around 16 years. We defected from another store when the owner decided to take stuff in a different direction, and I was there 10 years at that store. So I've been doing this a long time.
Wow. So was it a mutiny kind of like all these?
Not quite, but close. The owner was wanting to get out, and he was selling off his individual stores. And then he went to some convention and heard about franchising and was like, "Oh, that's a way cooler idea." And we were like, "Dude, we don't want to pay you to be our boss forever. Thanks." So we went to the south part of the city, and there were no comic book stores there. And that was 16 years ago, and we're still here. So moving along.
Wow, that's awesome. And it's so cool that you've kind of been there the entire time. You've seen it evolve and been part of that journey.
Yeah. I started when back issues were still a thing and trades were next to nothing. And now trades are, huge.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to they're everything.
Yeah, they are. They are really everything. It's starting to eclipse, monthly comics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, not to get too much into the theorizing of everything, but, different folks have different reading patterns. I know I like to have a full story, but then there's also the hunt, chasing after those single issues.
Nice. But, it's so nice when you're like, oh, man, I really want to reread that story, and just walk over to your bookshelf and you're like, there it is right there.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's like, all right, issue 1 done, back in the bag and board, back in the box, issue number 2. Let's get started.
That is true.
Awesome. So Eric, you have a long career in the comic book industry from what it sounds like. Hey, and there you go. Chris Franklin jumping in with Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, you guys got a little something.
That is the tagline for Austin, the live music capital of the world. I have no idea if that's true or not, but
I will say
we have claimed that for, my entire life. So what, 50 years? So
done.
Right.
If nobody else says it, it's true.
Right.
We got the Eric seal of approval. We're set. So, Eric, actually, would you mind giving us a little bit of a tour?
Sure, if I can make the camera, since I couldn't figure out how to make it flip, I can kind of see. So let's see. That is, as you can see, our new comics wall. Every week.
Huge.
Yeah, that's everything that's coming out tomorrow. We get it all, on Tuesday like everybody else. And then it goes over to the other side. Well, we're far away. We're walking through our poor graphic novel section that's divided amongst a whole bunch of fixtures.
Wow,
Yeah.
I am impressed by the space. Like, this is like a Barnes and Noble type of.
Oh, that you're too kind. And then that is our very large old wall, which every week we tear down the new wall and then alphabetically put it all up there. And then more fixtures of graphic novels, and then games, and that's our D&D section back in that corner. And
Nice.
other role-playing games. And then, we go in through all our other stuff and our tables for, gaming nights.
Mhm.
And back over there, we wrap back around with games and then come right back around to our new wall.
Man,
So,
you got a lot.
That's pretty much everything. We do. We try to have a little bit of everything. So hopefully, if one thing's not doing well one season, something else will do better.
And now, one question. I think, if I wasn't mistaken, was there a Galactus in the background somewhere?
Yeah. So if I angle this correctly, you can see occasionally some glitter art or painted stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's one of our customers. He goes by Tiger Galindo on Instagram. Anyways, a long time ago, he made us a sparkly-headed Galactus. And somebody liked it so much that they said, "Hey, can I buy it?" And I was like, "Sure." And Frank came back and he was like, "Hey, somebody bought your Galactus." It's like, "Yeah, I'm a little sad by it." He's like, "I'll make you another one." I was like, "Well, can you do it your painted style? Because I like your painted style so much better." And he's like, "Sure." So he came back and brought the head, and he's like, "You know what? I'm going to make a body for that door." And then I guess last year he did the hand coming out. And hopefully he thinks as soon as he can figure out exactly how to do it, next year he's going to put the other hand coming out the other door.
That'll be so cool.
And I hope the other hand he'll have maybe a Silver Surfer hanging out in it.
Yo, that'd be sick.
So it was awesome. It turned out great. He was never quite happy with his glitter Galactus, but somebody else was. So hey, worked for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you got somebody saying like, "Hey, listen, I got cold hard cash. I'm willing to give this to you for something that's just hanging on your wall."
Yeah.
It's hard to say no.
It is hard to say no. Although if somebody offered me money for that Galactus, I probably would have to say no. I love that. The Galactus is so cool.
I think at this point, like, you've definitely leveled up a little bit. You've gotten like, okay, this is the newer model, but also the fact that like, yeah, that's a staple. That's like your store thing,
Yeah, he also did our, I don't know if y'all can see it, but behind our register is our logo.
Which I wanted to ask you about. I was curious what the significance was of the red hand.
You want the long story or the short version?
Give me the short one first, and then I'll see if I want to hear the long one.
So back in the 90s, my friend group was filled with budding artists, and they all thought they were going to be the next Scorsese's and Quentin Tarantino's, and they tried to make this little film production company, and that was the logo we chose. We called ourselves Tribe Productions. I was just mostly a back office kind of guy. I had no interest in making movies, writing scripts, anything. And as with all things, when you're in your 20s, it was much more of a pipe dream than reality. So fast forward, 20 years, 15 years, we're putting together our comic book shop. My best friend and I were debating what to call it. He's really pushing for something fantasy oriented. He actually wanted to take the name of an NPC ruler from our first campaign that we ever played in and make it that. And I was like, man, it's all of us doing this. All our friends are helping us do this. They're being supportive while you and I try this crazy thing. I think we should just call it Tribe Comics. And he was like, we'll put a pen in it. That'll be a placeholder name until we figure out what the real name is going to be. Eventually I won, and that actually became the name.
Nice.
That's what our group of friends has always called themselves, Tribe. And so I felt it was important to honor them because, I mean, they were a big part of helping us put this thing together, nailing up fixtures, painting walls, fixing the electrical stuff. I mean, we could not have done it without them.
That's cool. No, I mean, it's true. It's like it takes a village, you know, it's a team effort, and it takes a tribe.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that you all kind of came together to realize this goal, and yeah, maybe it might not be like, you know, it might not be Mean Streets or Taxi Driver or, you know, anything like that, but it's still like, wow, all right, cool. You guys made something together.
Yes.
You know, you put your names on this and got it
out
there.
We did. And, you know, my friend, I owe a lot to my friends, and it feels nice to honor them in that way. Plus, you know, that's a kind of our store philosophy. You know, we're all part of this tribe, right? It's a comics tribe, right? Or gaming tribe. And everybody that comes in should feel like they've found a place that's their own.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. And especially too, the fact that you were saying that like you guys kind of saw this need, you know, this empty space, and you filled that, and you brought the comics to the people.
Yeah, we tried really hard, and I think we've been somewhat successful. We'll see.
I mean, I was going to say 16 years, man. Sounds like you're doing something right.
Hopefully we'll be around for another 16.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. And I see you do a lot of stuff online too. Is that correct? Do you sell directly?
We do not do any direct sales online, mainly because we are the least computer and tech savvy people on the continent, I believe. And so we've never set up any kind of web store or anything. Mostly it's just, you know, people call us, and if I need to ship stuff out, or occasionally somebody will send us a message by Facebook. And then on the days I remember to check Facebook, I'm like, oh, I got a message. This person wants me to mail them something. Most of the time it's just old fashioned. People come in and we kind of shake their hands and, oh, hey, Mr. White, you want your books? Yeah, let me get them for you. They're in the back here.
I like that. No, there needs to be that, you know. You have to have that, because that's again, I said at the beginning of the stream, you know, that's the lifeblood of the industry, you know.
It is.
And for the longest times, the comic book stores, I don't want to use like the word gatekeeper, but they were like yo, what do you got for me, man? You know, like I remember going and talking to the guy and be like, well, let me show you, give me some recommendations. I think you might like.
No, you know, I mean, Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and all of that other places where you can get games and comics is great, but chances are the employee you're talking to may not be an avid comics reader or game player, and he's not going to be able to be like, oh yeah, I saw you just finished that, you know, Image book. Let me, I got a couple others I can recommend to you. Or, oh, you like horror? Man, horror's having this massive, huge renaissance, of which Zenescope, you know, kind of started it before everybody else did, but now it's kind of everybody's doing horror, right? So if you love horror, it's a great time to get into comics. But if you go into Barnes and Nobles or Walmart or someplace, they may not know that.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, "Hey, we got I got a couple manga over there.
Right?
You like Chainsaw Man? I got a couple Chainsaw Man. There you go. You're good to go."
There you go.
But yeah, so and then you mentioned you do have your gaming nights. Is there like a set schedule? You know, if anybody's in the area and want to check
Monday through Friday, we stay open until 11 o'clock at night.
Whoa!
From 6 to 11, we have different themed gaming nights. So like Mondays is miniatures. Tonight is board games. That's the most popular one. We get probably about 35 people in here playing different board games at the 8 or 9 tables. Wednesday nights is our open gaming, anything goes. We left that open gaming because it's also a night when, obviously, it's New Comics Day. We get a lot of comics people coming in those nights. And so some of them use the tables to like sort through their new books or sit down and talk with their friends about comics. And then Thursdays is our D&D night. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we just close at 8. But the tables are open all day, all 3 of those days for anybody to use for absolutely anything they want. So since the pandemic, as you mentioned it, we actually have a few people who come in on the weekends or on Fridays to kind of use us as a home office away from home. So
That's so, man, I would be so jealous. I remember I was using a library like a chump. And these guys are going to a comic book store. That's high IQ moves right there.
It is different, but hey, you know, it works, right? Whatever.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I feel like I would be getting distracted like all the time. Like,
I can't
man, that was
imagine.
a tough email.
I would be grabbing books off the shelf going, oh, dude, I hadn't read this one before.
Yeah. Like, yeah, let me just walk up and stretch my legs for a little bit. Oh, Wonder Woman. All right, cool. Let's see what's going
Yeah.
on here. Awesome. Well, very cool. And I did throw your site into the comments
Oh,
section.
thank you.
So,
Yes.
of
And that
course.
also has connections to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the hell that's called now. I guess it's called X.
Yeah, the entire digital Ethernet.
Yes, yes. Mostly our intern handles that because she keeps track of that stuff for me because I don't.
Awesome. Well, if there's anything else, Eric, that you'd like to plug, anything you'd like to say, any parting words of wisdom you'd care to leave us with?
No, but I appreciate you, preaching the good word of comic book stores. We're a small but scrappy group that hopefully will keep getting bigger because that's where you're going to find the cool stuff that you haven't ever heard of before.
Absolutely, man. You need them. You need them. So
You
awesome,
do.
Eric. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your
Sure.
Tuesday to hop
Sure.
on and ramble and rant with us.
Hey, not a problem. It was a lot of fun. You actually are very engaging. So,
oh, well, thank you. And you were a pleasure to talk to, sir.
A pleasure to talk to you too.
Awesome, Eric. Well, thank you so much. We're going to hit some sales here, see if we can get you anything. And we'll be in touch, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Always a pleasure, man. Have a good one.
Always a pleasure. You too. Bye.
See ya. All right. So that was Eric from Tribe Comics and Games down in Austin, Texas. Highly recommend that you go check them out. Check them out online as well. They've got social media too. So definitely encourage you to take a look. Before I pass it over to Jason, I just wanted to hit up the comics that are going to be coming out in the month ahead. October is going to be a very, very cool month for us because we have one new book every Wednesday each week from now until the end of the month, starting tomorrow with Fairy Tale team up Robin Hood and Mystere. Eventually, we're going to move into Bunny Man's Furry Nightmare, and that's a fantastic Guillermo cover as well. Then Dave is back at it again with Cinderella's Halloween special, The Monster Mash. Check that out on 10/16. And then we've got a horror and fantasy illustrated pinup special on the 23rd, and ending the month, can't forget Grim Fairy Tales number 89. Check it out. Ask your local comic book store. Could be Tribe, could be any of the other comic shops that we mentioned, could be one local to you, the fantastic reader. So without further ado, I will pass it off to Jason. Jason, if you are ready, the floor is yours.
All right, sir. So first of all, a huge thank you to Eric for doing that with Tribe. I know Eric had a couple of scheduling conflicts going on with today. Huge thanks to Eric for making everything work out well, and we were able to kind of keep everything on par for today and so forth. So again, Eric, thanks so much for doing that. As you can see, geez, a gigantic store with plenty of room to walk around. Really cool stuff. Like Noah had mentioned, that one is that X-Men. Who's that? That's one of the villains from X-Men. Right? Yeah, dude. From Fantastic Four. Okay, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Really cool. But and then also some really cool Star Wars stuff in there. Just one of those awesome, really awesome comic shops. We love the mom and pop shops. Got to throw kudos out to Ralph for hooking me up with Tribe in the first place. Thanks to him. So without further ado, let's get to some new releases. So the first one's actually a really funny one. I find it funny. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. But anyway, new release one. So first and foremost, if you've never ordered from us before, all you need to do is put into the comments NR1, NR2. Please indicate whether you want to have it signed. This book would actually be signed by Joe and Dave too as well. First off, cover A is by Guillermo Fajardo. Cover B is by Igor Vitorino that you see there. Cover C is by Pierluigi Abbondanza. Hopefully I'm not brutalizing his name. Then cover D is by our good friend Ivan Tao. So one of the things I kind of want to point out about this book is it is $6.99. It is 48 pages though. So a normal comic book is normally like 22 pages, 23 pages from front to back and so forth. This is, again, 48 pages of content and so forth. So you're kind of getting a double-size issue. That's why it is $6.99. So I just want to kind of point out that in the first place. So the Homes of Houdini is kind of a newer series for us. We've been doing some short stories on Homes of Houdini. This one happens to be a standalone too as well. So it's taking Erica and her girlfriend. Geez, oh man, her name's kind of escaped me. Do you know? It's Erica, and they're basically the descendants of Holmes and Houdini. So anyway, so it's Erica and her girl. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, keep going.
All right. So the one thing that I wanted to point out again that's really kind of funny about this is so it's written by David Wall. David Wall took his chance or took an opportunity, I should say, to put me into the book. And I am Boris Kandilis. I don't know if we can go. Can we go to like a? Yeah, there we go. All right. So this I feel like this is a better actual depiction of me than the cyber pimp that Ralph had me as. What's that? You saw this one? This one's funny, dude. It is funny because I turn into a zombie or something like that. And I want to eat people's brains, or at least the fluid in their brains or something like that. And apparently I also don't speak English, which is kind of funny too as well. I speak either Aramaic or something like that, Aramaic. I'm sure I'm brutalizing the pronunciation of that anyway. So then again, there's me again. And there's me turning into the zombie and going after Liesel, which is really fun. I was texting Dave Wall actually today back and forth when I was reading this. We had a couple good texts or whatever. Anyway, like I said, Dave was actually cracking me up on this. So I find this issue obviously kind of hysterical in the fact that I'm in there as Boris Kandilis in the first place. But again, picturing Holmes and Houdini meeting up with Van Helsing and so forth. This is the introduction of Moriarty, and then also Moriarty's daughter too as well. Has a little bit of time hop to it, as we often do with Van Helsing and so forth. So time hopping from the past to the future, back to the past, that kind of thing and so forth. So you're getting a little bit of a reveal into the Moriarty family and so forth. Kind of gets dark, kind of twisted from there, like we always do. But again, if you're interested in New Release 1, you don't have to have read anything Holmes Houdini prior to reading this issue. It's a great standalone story. Like I mentioned, it's kind of funny to me. I'm sure you'll find it funny too as well. The fact that I'm a zombie in there named Boris, which again sort of kind of cracks me up. Dave contributed on story as well as doing the editing. Joe, of course, consigns every single thing that we do. Joe is the founder of Zenescope, started back in 2005. Speaking of which, dude, we are getting close to our 20th year anniversary, dude. As this year closes down, we get to 2025. We're going to be in our 20th year as a publisher. So huge kudos to Ralph. Huge kudos to Joe. All the staff here. Huge kudos to Di. All right, dude, for doing Zenescope. From the inception of the company, Di, were you like right in on the ground level?
No, the time I was working in a nursing home.
Okay.
Like I was working full time in a nursing home.
Gotcha.
After they started paying themselves, after Danny was born, when Danny turned a year,
Okay.
so I would say 2 years later,
Right.
then I stopped working to take care of all the kids.
Gotcha.
And I would just help in the warehouse.
So 2007, you were kind of dipping in a little bit.
Yeah.
2008.
I stopped working full time and I was just working.
Right.
Like I'd go in there, enter orders. This is when John Brandenburg was doing sales.
I remember. Yeah, I heard John was doing some sales, and then I think Tara Shakespeare kind of replaced him.
Yeah,
That was before me.
At the beginning, it was Elena, Ralph, Joe.
Right.
Yes.
Glenn,
Yeah.
pretty early on. Right. Gotcha. All right, good stuff. So anyway, giving you a little bit of dive back into Zenescope Past right there. All right, so again, New Release 1, if you're interested in that cover, if you're interested in that book, I should say, I'm sorry, please indicate NR1A, B, C, or D. Please also indicate whether you'd like to have it signed, and we can certainly do that for you. All right, let's go to New Release number 2. So New Release number 2 actually does not have a story in there, but I really dig New Release 2. So you can get either cover A for $5.99, which is a pinup special. Well, actually, they're both pinup special. I'm sorry. So cover A, it has 36 pages of just pinup art, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on some of the cover art that's in there. But so both of these covers are actually by Elias Chaz Dudas. I'm going to offer you the A cover, which is $5.99, and then also the B cover, which is the exclusive version or the limited print run. So it's a limited print run. There's only 500 copies made of this cover. From what I understand, this book is not yet out in comic shops. So we want to give you a chance to certainly buy it now. It will be, though. So I know this is going to hit previews, if I'm not mistaken, in December. So it will be out hopefully by the end of the year for comic shops. Hopefully you'll be able to see my man Eric over at Tribe for this book a little bit later on. But again, we want to benefit Tribe Comics by selling them here in the stream. So again, there's 36 pages of pinup art in this book, and I'm going to go ahead and leaf through a couple of the pages in there because again, there's no real story to it. But again, whenever we seem to do one of these, books that are just covers, they always tend to do extremely well. So you're getting 36 pages of absolutely fantastic cover art. A lot of these covers that I'm showing you are sold out. And again, either one, selecting cover A or B, will get you all this cover art that I'm mentioning. Cover A is the $5.99 version. That's the Elias Chadzudas cover that you see on your left-hand side of your screen. Or you can do the exclusive, which is $15. There's a limited 500 on that. But they both have the same cover art. Some absolutely fantastic cover artists on the interior. Again, artwork by Keith Garvey, Sun Kamanaki, Ian McDonald. Just again, some of our best cover artists, Mike DeBalfo, John Royal, Eric Besseldua, and so forth. We are one of the most fortunate companies I see, again, to work with some of these amazing cover artists. And again, we just want to kind of bring our cover art to you. This happens to be, again, a pinup special, again, for 2024. So if you're interested in it, NR2A or NR2B, try and keep in mind NR2A is only $5.99. That is not the non-exclusive version. NR2B is for $15. That is the exclusive version. If you'd like to have either of these covers signed, you certainly can. You could have them signed by Joe and Dave. If you don't want to have them signed, certainly don't have to, but the option is there for free if you'd like to do so. All right, so speaking of Dave, I figured we kind of keep it, do one of the graphic novels to me that is one of my Dave favorites, which is Princess Ninjas. So I'm just going to go ahead and read you the back of the book of Princess Ninjas. I didn't get a chance to reread Princess Ninjas today, but I read it way back when it first came out. So basically, it's when the kingdom is under attack, who do we turn to? You turn to the king and his guards. Do you turn to a knight, a myth of legend, or do you turn to the Princess Ninjas who battle injustice with Turtle Bear, dude? Turtle Bear, first of all, has to be one of my favorite characters that we've ever done as a company. Big fan of Turtle Bear. Big fan. All right. Probably inspired by Ninja Turtles from Dave Franchini. Dave has his own Ninja Turtle lunchbox and so forth, which he had for years upon years. But again, graphic novel number one, just $99 on that, or $9.99 on that bad boy. This is an all ages book. This is a book that Noah and I take to a lot of conventions, and we will, when people come up with their children, oftentimes and so forth, kids get really distracted. They want to kind of pop around, do a whole bunch of different stuff or whatever, zip over to here and there everywhere and so forth. But their parents want to kind of be able to keep an eye on them and so forth. So at the same time, so maybe Noah and I will hand them, especially if it's a young lady or whatever, we may hand them this, or a young boy. We'll hand them Princess Ninjas and so forth, just so they can kind of leaf through while mom and dad are looking for, whatever they're looking for by Zenoscope. Maybe they read Grimm fairy tales. Maybe they're into the collectible things and so forth. And so that kind of thing. But I got to say, no, we got a really good formula going. All right. At the conventions we've been doing. I'm digging the formula putting down, dude. Noah and I had a really great show in Baltimore. We had a really good time down there. In fact, I'm looking forward to doing a stream with one of the shops that I met down there, a company called Battlegrounds, and I'll get into them hopefully the next stream that we do with those folks. But again, so Princess Ninjas, again, this would be graphic novel number one. Please indicate whether you want to have it signed by the writer. Dave Franchini will sign it for free. The book itself is only $9.99. So if you're interested in that bad boy, Gary, I couldn't agree with you more. Family Pets, another one, is awesome, really awesome. Family Pets, I believe, is Shand, if I'm not mistaken. It's Pat Shand. We do some really cool kids books, and a few of them are on the web store. I think Family Pets, I believe, is on there. If it isn't, just shoot me an email and I'll make sure I can see getting a copy to you. And then we've got a couple other really extremely kid friendly stuff that we've done and so forth. But again, graphic novel number one, again, $9.99. If you're interested in that bad boy and you want to get it signed by the writer, you may do so for free. All right, let's rock on. Let's go to graphic novel number two. This one's an interesting one because it's not very Zenoscope related. This was extremely interesting when we first came out with Conspiracy. First of all, it deals with 5 or 6 different conspiracy theories that people are very familiar with. People are very familiar with the conspiracy theory of the Illuminati and so forth, that kind of thing. There are, again, 5 different stories on there. There's Illuminati. There's also Doppelganger. There's one about the Denver airport and so forth. There's another one about social media. And then the last one's about lizard people, and that one's kind of funny to me. That story and so forth. But really cool. Again, conspiracy theories abound. And if you'd like to have this book signed, you can certainly have it signed by Joe and Dave. Again, we're offering it for just $9.99. If you do buy this in a regular comic shop, it would be $19.99, but we're offering it here for half the price. So at the $9.99, you're getting 5 different conspiracy theories, all really cool. This is also written by Hans. I'm going to brutalize his last name. Is it Rodionov? I'm going to go with Hans Rodionov. Anyway, our first foray into writing with Hans, and a really cool and a great writer at that. What I really dig about this too is some of the individual covers are on the inside. It doesn't have the entire breakdown of all the individual covers, but like say that's the Denver airport one there. So it'll have, like, again, certain single issues on the interior of this too as well. And again, you're getting 5 stories again for just $9.99, for just $10. So indicate whether you want graphic novel number 2. And again, please also indicate whether you want to have it signed. And again, it will be signed for free. All right, let's get to everybody's favorite section of the day. All right, please don't put book number 1, book number 2. That's not going to get you these items that we're going to talk about next. All right, so we're going to do our Diamond retailer incentive covers. First cover happens to be a cover by Josh Burns. No, if you want to go ahead and pop it up. October is what we're looking for here. The book itself is by, again, Josh Burns, like I mentioned. It is on our fairy tale team up, Robin Hood and Mystere, and it's cover F as in Frank. It is a 400 print run, again, for just $10. Please put October into the notes. I'm seeing a bunch of people jumping on and grabbing this bad boy. Thanks for bearing with me when I was talking about the graphic novels and some of the single issues and so forth. I know this is everybody's favorite segment. Again, October is what we're looking for. Again, just $10 on that. Again, this is our Diamond retailer exclusive. It is our bronze level retailer exclusive. Also, if you'd like to try and find some of the shops that carry these books, that carry previous Diamond books or whatever, shoot me an email at jcandelos, and I'll see if I can direct you either to one of the local comic shops or something. Maybe perhaps you can get some of these older covers online and so forth. Because again, you're not going to find these on our web store. We do not sell these readily. The one reason why we're selling them today is, first of all, to help support Burns has been killing it. Kyle, I couldn't agree with you more. Kyle, thanks so much for taking advantage of some of the books that I emailed you on and getting back to me on that. Burns has been absolutely crushing it with this series. I couldn't agree more. He has been crushing it with these Diamond bronze level exclusives. Again, Josh Burns just doing an absolutely fantastic job. Team Karras, I know you guys couldn't be happier with this one. Josh Burns doing an absolutely fantastic job depicting your gal, Karras, who happens to be our goddess of death, our female Grim Reaper. All right, let's rock on. Let's go to the second book, and that will be NYCC that we are looking for. NYCC is what we're looking for as the code on this. Just happens to be New York Comic Con coming up in a couple of weeks. We're looking forward to that. This is our silver level. It happens to be a cover by Meguro. Just like Josh Burns, Meguro is absolutely crushing it for us this year too as well. So again, this happens to be our 2024 October, our silver level, a 250 print run you're getting for just $20. Those of you that buy from us pretty regularly know that when we normally do a 250 print run, we normally do them for $25. But in this instance, we're doing them for just $20. The book is the same as October. It is that fairy tale team up. It is Robin Hood and Mystere. It is cover G as in girl. So not only are you getting a great standalone story on Robin Hood and Mystere where they team up, and so forth, but you're getting a great collectible cover. As you know, not only do we do great collectibles, but all of our collectibles all come with readables too as well. This happens to be a great standalone story, a perfect way to get started reading with us if you're interested in that cover, or perhaps you already bought October and so forth. Again, you're getting a great standalone story, so a great readable as well as collectible. All right. Looks like Di is ready to rock and roll, so let's rock on. You'll also see on the names on the side or whatever are those of you that got October. So in case you were wondering if you made the list for that and so forth, Again, I'm seeing like Mike Mullins, Stephen Ponsler, Chris Franklin, Jim Conway, Harlan, and so forth. You should be able to see your name hopefully typed in there, and hopefully you did not miss out. All right. Just so you're aware of it, we do not do double ups on any of these diamond books. So if you do indicate, I'd like to do a ×2, we really can't do that. We're just going to do, again, 20 or so, maybe a couple past that and so forth. So again, NYCC is what we're looking for here on this code. And we'll do about 20 or so of those. All right, without further ado, let's rock on to the third book. And that would be Halloween. First of all, Halloween's one of my favorite holidays. All right, dude. Big fan of Halloween. All right. I used to be a huge fan of this holiday because I would get to walk around with my kids and my kids would dress up. Now they're way too cool for me. All right, dude. They have to ditch dad. So I think is it okay to like walk around with like a wheelbarrow full of beer, kind of walking around, maybe like just hitch up with some other parents, or maybe just follow my own kids around? I think that's going to put me on their S list. That's gonna be really bad days ahead. They won't even know if I'm doing it. I could say like, hey, I'm looking out for their safety, or how do they know? That's true. I did dress up with one of like the Devo members one year, dude. Devo was hot, dude. We did a little Devo. We did the cones, and then I forget what kind of outfits we had on, or something we bought online. And I don't think we actually looked anything like the band, but we figured just with the cones on top of our heads that people would know we were Devo. Yeah, and we whipped it good. All right, good stuff. All right, so again, Halloween is what we're looking for here. Again, Maguro. This happens to be our gold level. This is a 150 print one for just $40. I just got to do a better disguise. There's Steven telling me what I got to do. There's Gary jumping the gun on the print. Gary, you will get the print, all right, in due time, darling. All right, please don't jump the gun. All right, no, I doubt there's any chance we'd sell all 20, 25 prints and so forth. So again, Halloween's the code that we're looking for here. Again, covered by Maguro, who, like I mentioned, is absolutely crushing it. The book itself, again, is Fairy Tale Team Up. It's Robin Hood and Mystere. This one happens to be cover H's and Henry. Again, a 150 print run here that we'd like to call is probably our lace version of that cover. If you're interested in it, try and keep in mind whether you're buying October, NYCC, or Halloween, all the books on the interior are the same. All right. Last but certainly not least, let's go to Taco Day, dude, because I don't know if you know this. What's Taco Day, dude?
Taco Day?
Apparently it's Taco Day.
And it's Tuesday.
It's Taco Day. It's Tuesday. And October, I don't know if October 1st is always Taco Day. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, but I looked it up and I got Taco Day, dude. So I wanted to throw out a little Taco Day. I'm actually thinking about doing some tacos tonight with my kids, all right, for dinner. So again, Taco Day, we're looking at $75 on this one. The reason being, it is a 75 print run. It is not a completely topless cover as you see there. It is kind of sheer. I would say what she's wearing there is pretty much see-through. All right. So try and keep that in mind as you think about buying this cover. So again, Taco Day, Mike Mullins, Steven, Spider-Man, and my man Joe, dude. Joe, what's going on with my Eagles, dude? What's going on with our Eagles, dude? The Eagles look bad. Dude, they got spanked around by Tampa Bay. Not beaten, spanked around. They missed something like 20, 25 tackles in that game, dude. I'm not feeling good about my Birds right now. No. I'm feeling good about my Phillies. All right. I did just find this out, Noah. This is an interesting fact. So in baseball, they do not reseed. So the top team automatically plays, or at least this is what I hear. All right, so the Dodgers will automatically play the winner of the series of the Padres and Braves. So let's say the Mets, who happen to be the lowest seed at 6th seed, not saying the Mets are the least team that made the playoffs or whatever, but they are the lowest seed remaining. If the Mets win their series against the Brewers, they will play the Phillies, dude. And that would be some series, dude. The Mets played the Phillies rough each and every game that they played them this year. It would be an absolutely fantastic series. Plus the fact that the Mets fans like to invade Philly. Philly fans love to invade too as well. Oh my God, you're talking about some great fan action going on there. If you get a little Mets Phillies in the next series or whatever. I'm knocking on wood. I'm hoping that the Mets get through. Not only for your sake, because Noah's a bit of a Mets fan, but I'd love to see that, dude. I'd love to be able to see that in New York. There's definitely always a little bit of New York-Philly rivalry. And we will be up in New York Comic-Con. I don't know if it will be like during – I think the series may be over by the time we get up there. I got a feeling it might be because Go ahead. What do you
I
got?
was just gonna say, like, my memories of going to the Beer Authority and watching the
Right.
Phillies game with you and Dave.
Oh
Like,
my
that
God,
for me
dude! You
is the
remember?
highlight of
Yeah,
college
that was that one. That was that one guy. The one guy was betting against the Phillies. He bet only on the Braves pitcher. I can't remember who it was. Could have been like Strider or something like that. And I remember talking to him in the first inning. I was like, dude, you made a bad bet. All right, the Phillies own the Braves. What are you doing? And he wound up losing like something like $1,000, something like $2,000 that he bet on the Braves. And then of course the Phillies went on to win that series, but then lose, I think, the next series that they played. Anyway, what's that?
Oh no!
Ah, Gary, what are you doing, darling? Are you okay? They're almost as good as the Cowboys. So again, Taco Day is what we're looking for there. Looks like we have a good amount of people that got on that, man. Gary, hoping that you're okay. Should we wait? Should we pause for you? Because this happens to be your item. Actually, we're going to put her down for Gary. Put it down for a print. All right, Gary, we got you covered for the print. All right, so there is the print right there. Gary, hopefully you're okay, darling. Give us a thumbs up whenever you get a chance. Print is $30. It is that Maguro cover that we showed you earlier. It also has the Tribe Comics and Game logo that you see right there, that hand. So I didn't catch exactly what he said about the hand. So
he was saying that
it was a
logo from when they used to play, I think, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
It was like a tribe that they had come up with within the game. So that it was kind of a holdover, but also a reference to all of like the friends that put it together, because I was there.
Oh, that's definitely cool. I like that. Keeping it old school, keeping it real. All right. So we have dropped this to a limited 20. There's only 20 made of the print. Gary's okay. Thanks, Gary, for giving us a thumbs up. Glad she's doing all right. Gary, try not to fall into any whatever patches or whatever. A sticker patch. That doesn't sound good. That sounds like rose bushes or something. That sounds bad, whatever it was. All right, so again, if you're interested in the print, just put print into the notes and it shall be yours. Again, the print is $30. Keep in mind there's only 20 made of that print. It is an 11 by 17 print. It is not a comic book. So you're actually looking at something like this. Let me see if I can grab one of our folio books, which happens to be right here to my left. All right, so you're getting like an 11 by 17 print, exactly like that. All right. All right, so there it is right there. There it is. You think this is bigger than 11 by 17?
That's a wide.
These are big.
That's a wide.
That's true.
We should just start keeping.
We should just keep like a single print around just in case. All right.
But like that, it's around.
Right, it's around that size.
You get the gist.
Right. So again, 11 by 17 print. This is not a comic book that you can read. It's basically what I'm trying to get across to you. All right. Looks like Gary's okay. Looks like we're okay. Looks like we're passing on the print. Let's offer up the special pack. So the special pack is $250. The reason being, each and every one of these books that is in the pack was $100. This happens to be a lot of covers from this year, actually some 2024 Artist Choice cosplays. All right, so you're getting actually a cover right there. That Fairy Tale team up. What character is that? That's what's her name from something Bell?
Luffy from One Piece.
From One Piece. All right, so I see that cosplay like all over the time. Every time we go to a convention, always really dig that cosplay or whatever. So again, just a really cool cover by Maguro that you see right there. You're also getting the cover in the middle by Pierluigi Abbondanza. That one happens to be Oz. Fall to Emerald City issue 1 cover N. And then you're also getting the Drax Gal. That might be, I don't know, dude. Dare I say it, that might be one of my favorite Draxes.
Drax is making it harder.
He's making it harder each and every time he does a cover.
He comes out with is better than his
Yeah.
last.
Yeah.
It's like, this can't be my favorite because the last one was my favorite.
Yeah. I love how she's like tossing the pumpkin, just giving it like just that spooky Halloween feeling. I don't know if you know this, but I did try and pull that out just for October. So again, Oz, Fall the Emerald City issue 2, cover K's and Kicks. You're getting 3 books. If you're interested in the pack, please put the special pack into the notes. Try and remember half of the proceeds going to my main man, Eric, over at Tribe. So that brings us to a close of the proceedings. Why don't we talk a little bit about some future events that we got coming up, dude? All right. Let's do it. See, we just did the retailer stream. In fact, that is Tuesday, October 1st that you see, the very first day on the calendar. We have New York Comic Con coming up on the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. So the 17th, I believe, is a Wednesday. I believe the convention actually starts itself on that Wednesday, or excuse me, actually on that Thursday. They're doing something retailer-wise on the 17th.
I really think that it's just
or 16th, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Like,
the 16. I think it's just panels. It's something
like
goofy.
small
Yeah.
industry
Right.
stuff. I don't think that it's like a
Yeah, we'll be setting up our booth anyway. So yeah, so if you want to come by the booth or whatever and see Noah and I, we'll be setting up the booth if they let you on the floor in the first place. So we'll be setting up on the 15th and the 16th. Also, stay tuned for some comic shops that we're going to be going to. Like Noah put up on those new releases that we did for the entire month and so forth. We're going to be doing some Wednesdays, some Saturday comic shops and so forth. The Bunnyman Furry Nightmare. I'm going to see if I can set up a comic shop in-store signing with Nick and Joe, and then possibly Nick and myself for a comic shop. Noah's going to try and set up a Wednesday where he's going to do that horror fantasy illustrated. I'm going to try and set up a shop for Dave for the Grim Fairy Tales Halloween Cinderella Monster Bash, and then maybe towards the latter part of the month, we'll see if we can set up a comic shop for Grim Fairy Tales 89. So going back to the original calendar, if you could, Noah. So again, we'll be doing Movie Club. We'll be doing Evil Dead. All right, Evil Dead is one of those great, old, fantastic horror flicks, dude. Classic. It is a classic. That's the one where they go to the mall, right? And like the.
Oh no, that's Dawn of the Dead.
That's Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm mistaken my deads.
Evil Dead is they all go to a cabin in the woods and they find a Necronomicon.
Ooh, I got to rewatch that, dude.
All these dead monsters back to life.
I got to rewatch that one. I'm sure I've seen it or whatever. I just got to rewatch. I got to relive it. And then, of course, you're getting the fantastic Elias Chad Zudas cover that you see there. That'll be offered too as well. So make sure you join us. It'll be Noah, Brian, Marilyn, Ralph, Crystal, possibly Sarah. We'll see. But again, that will be on October the 23rd. That'll be after we get back from New York Comic Con. And then at the very end of the month, it will be our virtual horror Comic Con. That will be where we introduce you back to our Space Punk covers by John Royal. Oh boy, what do? We do the leather lace and latex. And then we also do, there's one more, it's escaping me. The Icon cover, right? So you'll be able to get those covers, those brand new covers for the month of October. I don't know what that means.
It's Evil Dead.
Oh, all right, good stuff, dude. All right, Bruce Campbell at his best. I love it, love it. All right, so again, our virtual horror con, again, Monday, October 28th. It'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. And then Tuesday, October 29th, from 6 p.m. to 7:30. We're doing a little Monday, Tuesday right there. We're trying to stay away from Halloween in case you want to go out with your kids or whatever. We certainly don't want to be able to interrupt that. So again, October 28th and October 29th on that, our virtual horror con. I think that's pretty much it. I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for joining us again. Thanks so much for joining us on the VIP stream on Saturday. If you did a little double up there, if you're not familiar with VIP and you want to become a VIP of ours, just take a look at Zenoscope.com, put VIP into the search engine. That'll give you a little bit more information about that. I think that's pretty much it. I want to say thanks to Di for writing down the names. We got Di back on the names and so forth. Thanks to my main man, Noah, for putting everything together and also doing the interview with Eric. Huge thank you to Eric as well over at Tribe. Thanks for making everything work out in your schedule. Thanks to you guys. Thanks for joining us. Can't thank you guys enough. And if you bought some books, thanks so much. If you didn't, maybe we'll see if we can get you next time. All right. Everybody have a great, fantastic October. Hopefully we'll catch you at New York Comic Con in a couple of weeks.